Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. It is here. The day has come. Almost. The day has almost come. Tomorrow, I am kicking off my 3-day free live event and opening up spots in my expansion room mastermind. And I am so excited to share all of the things with you guys today. So, if you have not yet, make sure that you have gotten your ticket to this free 3-day live. It is inside my free community. It will be streamed live in that community, and then all replays will also be in that community. And in my 3-day live, I'm going to teach you how to blow the fuck up in 2026. So, if you have been in business for literally any amount of time and you feel like I really, really want next year to be my year, I want to make more money, I want to make more impact, I want to be clear on who I am, what I do, and how to grow a business, this is going to be the room for you. I'm going to change your life. I just am. I'm so convicted that I know for a fact this will change your mind, your brain chemistry, and your life and your business for an ever and ever. Because once I show this to you, once I lay this out to you, you will never see yourself or your business the same again. You won't. And this will be so permanently tattooed in your brain that you will forever be like, shit, but Tay said, shit, but this is actually what I'm missing. Shit, this is actually the thing. And that will be the thing that you live by and grow your business by forever and ever. Amen. Good night. So if you have not got your ticket yet, go get it. Okay. This will 100% not be the space where we like just tell campfire stories and chit chat. This will not be where I teach you like content hacks and cute canvas shit or ads or you need to have a big team or post every day and shake your ass on reels. All of the things that you could never make me do, that I will never do, that I hate, despise with my whole soul. This will be grown woman business chats. This will be talking about really, truly how you grow and scale, how you get to six figures, multi six figures, how you grow and scale a business, a company, how you build your empire and become the version of you that not only creates it, that not only plans it, that not only builds it, but executes it, that has it, that holds it. This is what's going to happen. In day one, I'm going to show you how to become the woman who actually blows the fuck up. Because before we can actually strategize, we need to alchemize your current identity. We need to be clear, crystal clear in the identity that you're operating from, the shadows, and who your higher self is that's already inside of you, and if you're embodying her. That work is non-negotiable. Whether you've made $5 or $500,000, identity work is required at every single level. If you think, I've done that, I've done the mindset work, I'm past that, I'm beyond that, you need to do this because I can guarantee you, you have done mindset work and identity work. And honestly, if you're a business owner, personal development is like you're thrown into the fire, right? But what I can also tell you is, I know for a fact is that you're operating from the identity of your current reality, right? You operate at a certain frequency, you operate out of a certain identity, and then it's mirrored back to you, your current reality, right? But you then have to embody a next level version, a higher level version of you to then call in the next income, the next reality. And that is what we're going to talk about. This will not be like your basic mindset conversation. It will be very in depth on how you become the version of you that scales, not grows a business, not makes money, not makes some money, not signs your first client, the version of you that scales a company, an empire, right? And I say company and empire from the place of like, this is going to look different for every single person. Like, you can have a six-figure business with no team. You can have a six-figure business with one person on your team. I've done it and I know people who have done it. You don't have to have a like full on company of employees, full staff, 37 people on your team to grow a fucking empire. It gets to be simple, but you also are missing key components that I'm going to teach you. In day two, we're going to do, can your business even fucking do that? Can your business even create the goals that you have? Can your business even give you the life you want, the money you want, the income you want, the impact you want to make? Is your business set up to actually do that? And then on day three, we're going to talk about how you can map a 3-year plan and execute a year one and stop running your business from month to month, quarter to quarter, but actually how you can scale a business. That is what I'm teaching you in 3 days, and it will blow your whole mind, and it's completely free. The link is below. Okay. Now let's talk quickly about mastermind before we get into today's episode. Now, for some of you, you're like, why do you do this at the beginning? Why can't you do this at the end? Because I already know that you guys are going to skip. And this is like the most important information because then some of you will be like, well, I have this question, this question, this question. Is it for me? Is it for me? Is it for me? And I'm going to say, well, I covered that in the podcast and I covered it in my 3-day live event and I covered it on my sales page. I'm just being a smartass, kind of. But also, it's required when you're in business. When you're scaling a business, when you're growing a business, when you're launching offers and containers, which you should be if you're growing and scaling a business, you have to talk about them all the time. You have to talk about your offers. You have to talk about how you can help people and how you can change their life. That's a part of being in service. That's a part of changing people's lives and making impact is selling to them. So if you are allergic to selling to people, that is why you have not grown and scaled to six and multi six figures. Okay. So let's talk about my mastermind, the expansion room. Oh my God. I don't know. Okay, let me say this. I obviously am in love with my own programs because hello, it's like a mother loving their own child, right? But when I tell you that I am obsessed with this mastermind slash it's kind of it's group coaching plus mastermind, right? It's like a high level group container where we do mastermind with each other, but you're also learning a step-by-step process as you would in a group coaching program. But the way that I'm obsessed with this container, this offer, and the women who are already in it, because we already have 7 women inside, is like, oh my God, I can't, the words, like my mouth is salivating. That's how obsessed I am. Okay, let's talk about this 12-month high level mastermind is the room where you're going to stop running your business like a hustler who's just month to month launching, growing, scaling, or the version of you who is literally at the same income year after year after year because you're not expanding and you're going to build an actual fucking empire. Now, again, empire is up to you and what that is. But I know so many of you not only want six and multi six figures, you want big lives, you want to make a bigger impact. So many of you are like, I want to write a book. I want to speak on stages. I want to get paid to speak. I want to do these other things. I want to start a nonprofit. I want to start another extension of business. That is your empire. I want to have freedom to have a chicken farm. That is your empire. I want to change generations to come. That is your empire. That is your empire. It is not just a multi-million dollar company, quote unquote, where you're like sitting in your office all day micromanaging people. That sounds like fucking horrible. If you know anything about me, I would never want me, you, or anyone else to ever run a business that is literally a job. We are here because all of us here want some kind of freedom. We want some kind of freedom, and that is what we're here to do. And we want to make a big impact and we want to make fuck you money while we're doing it. And that is the literal goal of this room. So this is going to be the space for you if you've already made money. You've already made at least $35,000 years. You know how to make money and you're capable and craving way more, but you have no idea how. And you don't have the back end to do it. Or your identity is capped in where you are right now and you keep talking yourself out of these goals. So you either are not expanding past a certain level because of the identity you're operating out of, even though you want to, or your literal business isn't created in order to scale. And it's always your identity and the strategy. And that's why we do both. You have signed clients, you've had momentum, but you're still building like off grit. You're still building off day-to-day, week-to-week momentum, motivation, and you don't have an actual scalable business plan. Most things live in your head. Like your business lives in your head, content lives in your head, and then your income is kind of just like from live launching or like doing this or doing that. So you're doing a lot of hustling and selling and serving, but that is not scalable. And that is what we're going to change. The thing is, you are self-led, you take responsibility, you know you're not stuck, you know you need support, you know you need structure, you know you need strategy, and if that is you, this is the room for you. Now, if you have not made money yet, if you're like, I'm still finding my niche, I'm still finding my messaging, I'm multi-passionate, you need someone to hold your hand for 6 weeks just to post a piece of content that feels triggering. If you're obsessed with manifesting, but you're allergic to execution, and you're still blaming the clients and the algorithm and your ex-husband and your mom and your auntie and your ex-coach for all of the problems you have in your life, you need to be inside Breadwinner Energy Academy first, because that is where we will clean up your mind drama, your identity, your shadows, and all of the things that will land you into better, higher, faster decisions to be ready to scale a business. So if you're the later list that I just shared, this is not going to be the mastermind for you. You need to start with Academy. But if you're the woman who has made the money, Sure, you have mind drama because we all do because we're humans, but you're like, I'm really ready for big shit. Like, I'm so ready to go next level. This is the room for you. Inside my mastermind, we're going to do identity alchemy. We're going to create your highest version self, not really create, more like embody the version of you that makes six and multi six figures. We're going to do a full life business personality audit so we can clean up like your capacity. We're clear on like your home life, your romantic life, your kids, your nervous system, your boundaries, your personality. Like every single thing has been audited. And then we're going to map out a 3-year plan together to grow and scale your business. And then we're going to purge all of the old things, all of the old business things, life things, energetic things, all the old outdated offers and delivering and all the things you hate we're getting rid of, and all the things that don't work for your 3-year plan we're getting rid of. And then for year one of your business, of that 3-year plan, we are executing together. Yes, you're going to create the plan. And so by the end of 2026, you will know exactly what to do the day 2026 starts. You will know what you're selling, what you're launching, what you're posting, what you're scheduling, what you're doing, when you're doing it, how money's coming in, where leads are coming in. You will know exactly what to do. This shit is so exciting to me. My brain just works in this way, and I am so excited. If that is you, you can start applying tomorrow. So, how this works, okay? You have to apply between October 13th, tomorrow, between that day and October 22nd, which is a week and a half, right? It's from Monday to the following Wednesday. You have to get in your application. When you apply, you will immediately be directed to the next page, which is to place a deposit, one-time payment of $888 to hold your spot. Okay. This mastermind is only opening 2 times a year. It will not reopen until 2026. And we take limited spots because it is hands-on with me supporting you in your business. And we already have 7 people signed up in that room. So I don't know how many spots I might have to be like, ooh, okay, let's close the doors until 2026. Okay. So you're going to immediately place your deposit. On Wednesday, October 22nd through October 24th, which is a Wednesday through Friday, I will be personally reviewing every application and sending out, hey, welcome, here's your onboarding, let's fucking go. Or unfortunately, we don't think this is a fit for you and we will suggest Academy. If you are not a fit, your deposit will be refunded immediately in full. I'm not keeping your money. It's literally hold your spot because you are serious that if I say, yes, this is for you, you're joining, right? And then after that, you will have 30 days to either pay it off in full or start your payment plan. We have a 12-month payment plan. The investment is $10,000 or 12 monthly payments of $888. So again, once that $888 is deposited, then that holds your spot. And then the next month would 30 days from then would either kick off 11 additional payments or the pay in full, which would be 10K minus 888, whatever that is. Okay. Now we have all the details. This was a very long introduction, but so much to cover. Let's get into today's episode, which is the difference between a $10,000 launch and a $100,000 launch. And I have had both, and then everything in between. And I have had many, many, many in between numbers, launches, many 10K launches plus. And I will tell you, my $100,000 launch was one of my easiest launches I've ever had. My second easiest launch was $55,000, and I made that right after maternity leave. So those have been my 2 easiest launches were $55,000 and $100,000 launches. My $10,000 launches were my hardest launches, and we're going to talk about the biggest differences in those 2 types of launches, okay? $10,000 launches. And here's the thing is there's this misconception. I've talked about this with clients, but there's this misconception of if I can't even make 10K months, how am I going to make 100K months? Because it's going to require so much more work, so much more time, so much more energy and team and these things that I don't have. And that is not true. When I made my first $100,000 month, not only did I only have one person on my team, which was my operations manager, it was just me and her, I also worked less than I had ever worked before. I was actively working less and had one person on my team, and I did not run any ads. My entire business was organic. So if you truly believe that making more money, this is what that goes back to, making more money requires more of you, it's going to be harder, more team, more money, more moving pieces, that is a lie. That is a lie. It's actually easier if Number one, you are operating out of your 100K month identity, because that is required, is to be able to have that identity to begin with. Number two, you have an actual tangible business plan that can execute and hold a $100,000 launch, right? And you know how to execute that said plan. And you have systems and structure in your business to back up not only a $100,000 launch, but the people that will come in from that. That is what is required, not more work, not more energy, not money into ads. A lot of the things that you guys think is required is in fact not required, okay? My $10,000 launches almost always looked like I'm launching because I just need money. And I know how to make money. So I'm just gonna go out and sell something, launch something, talk about something, and that's gonna make me money. Sometimes it made me 10K, sometimes it made me 5K, sometimes it made me 3K. But I knew that if I did that, I was gonna make money and I just needed money. I was still in feeling rejected when people didn't buy from me. And so there was a lot of drama around that, around rejection. So I wasn't selling at a higher level. Therefore, I wasn't making as much money. My identity was constantly tied to either my last win or my last loss or my last like launch. So it's like, well, the last time I launched, it was so bad. The last time I did this, it didn't work. So I don't know. That energy is what will keep you from growing and scaling because instead of going off of the past, you have to go off of the future and the future that you have not yet created, right? If we keep looking to our past to recreate our future, what's going to happen? We're just going to keep recreating more of our past. Whereas if you make a conscious decision to become a new version of you and operate at a higher level version of you, which will then create a plan for higher version, which will then be executed by your higher version self, you will start to create new realities and experiences, but they're not going to be based on your past. They're going to be based on where you want to go, right? Okay. I didn't know who the fuck I was unless I was posting and selling 24/7. Unless I was posting 24/7, I did not know who I was or what to do with my life. Like I didn't know what to do with freedom. I was like constantly working in my business. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What am I missing? Like I was obsessed. My mind would not shut the fuck up. It was obsessed with like, what am I missing? What is the piece? What is the thing? Where like at $100,000, like for instance, I'm currently about to launch my mastermind. I have a 3-day live free event coming up, right? That has been completely ready to go, scheduled. All of that's done. All of the emails to remind you to sign up or like the class is starting or whatever, that's all done. The week and a half of content and emails and everything going is scheduled for that launch. That's all done. The onboarding process is done. So for me, I get to come and teach live and experience being with my people. I get to have conversations with people and then I get to review amazing, incredible applications and invite people to this room. And then I get on the back end, I get to coach my current clients during a launch, not posting every day, spiraling every day. Who am I? What am I doing? What am I selling? Who am I talking to? Okay. My offers, my pricing, my niche, and my vibe would shift during launches based on low engagement. That would happen at 10K month, 10K months, 10K launches. Um, I was reactively posting without a sales plan. Like I didn't even have a plan, a launch plan, a sales plan. I was like just posting, like hopefully someone buys for me. I had very, very sloppy sales pages and messaging and branding, and it did not look cohesive and put together and elevated, and it didn't look like 100K months. It looked like I hope to make 10K one day. This is the biggest difference in 10K to 100K launches is like who you are, who you're operating as, and how much structure do you actually have to back that up. At 10K months and launches, my shadows were absolutely running the show. My identity was operating at the level of someone who creates money, but does not actually expand into like a CEO. I was just totally operating in hustle, 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 hustle. I know how to make money. I know how to hustle. I know how to post. I know how to launch. I know how to sell. But there was no expansion. There was no abundance. There was no overflow. Okay, let's move into my $100,000 launch, like what this actually looks like. I was not surprised that it happened or went well because I felt really planned for it. I was not to say that I wasn't like excited. I was really excited when it happened, but I was also like, okay, I planned for this. I created this. I had this was like what I wanted and planned for, right? And it worked. You also show up in your full power online and offline. And you don't just show up at $100,000 launches. You don't just like do it because you're in the mood to do it. It's like fully planned and you're operating as your 100K self. 1000%. And during that launch and before and after, I was operating as that version of me in my business. You could see how convicted I was in the classes, in the classroom. I was like totally demanding attention and magnetism in that 5 day live event that led to that $100,000 launch. And even to this day, it's one of my most popular freebies is that 5 day training that still converts into offers I run today because of how embodied I was in my work. My 100K launch was not only fun AF, but I also had so much space and energy to have fun because everything was done and scheduled and organized and systematized. And all I had to do was show up, coach clients, tell people what I do, offer to change their life, and give them the link to go through onboarding. Literally, that was it. That was it. My business, too, at the time, could hold that many people because I had structures, I had support, I had systems. Now, actually, let me take that back. I told you guys during my 100K launch, I only had one person on my team, which was an operations person. That's not true. I did actually have a contractor co-coach. She was an alumni student, and I had her come and coach, like co-coach with me to support that many clients in the room. So I did have one of our alumni students. We did pay her part-time to co-coach at the time. So technically, I had my operations manager and then I had a part-time co-coach. But I had a business and a structure and an offer and a container and support that could hold people in that room, right? Now, the offer that I had launched was a $10,000 offer, right? Not a $37 offer that I'm trying to make $100,000 from. It wasn't a $1,000 offer, right? That I was trying to make $100,000 from. It was a $10,000 program and I only needed 10 people. So again, it's can my business actually do this? Because my business is set up in a way, if I'm going organic, that $100,000 launch is only 10 people. And I can convert 10 freaking people, right? I also had $100,000 energy. Like I was convicted AF in my work, my processes, my results, who I help, how I help them, what I do, what my container is, who it's for, who it's not for. Like I was convicted. You knew. You knew right away if I was or wasn't your coach by the energy that I carried. You knew if the offer was and wasn't for you based on how I was able to articulate it. You knew the exact results you would get by going through my process. And that made it really easy for people to buy. Okay. I also made my math. If I wanted 10 buyers to buy at $10,000, I needed a primed audience ready to spend that. I needed to warm up an audience who was ready to spend that. So prior to that launch, I was doing a lot of selling and warming people up for that offer. Yeah. And I was also making sure that I had enough leads to come live to then convert at that level too. My offer, my messaging, and my copy were crystal clear. That is the biggest difference between 10K and 100K launches. The identity that you operate out of, the shadows that are haunting the fuck out of you in your business, and then the systems and the structure and the planning that goes into those launches is the difference. Here's what I will tell you. The number one thing that will be triggered while you expand your business is abandonment. Because when you go into expansion and you grow and you scale, what happens? People will leave your world, clients will leave your world, your audience will shift. And so there will be this energy of like people leaving your world. You might even have relationship shakeups in your real life, your friends, your family, because you are expanding and becoming a new version of yourself. You are operating out of a different consciousness, and some people will be triggered by that. Therefore, it could, in fact, lead to quote unquote abandonment. And this is something that we're going to be talking about in my expansion room mastermind is can you actually operate out of the identity of someone who blows the fuck up in the next year, 3 years? Who makes multi six figures, who has 6-figure launches, because that version of you is already within you, but do you know how to operate and plan and decide and execute as that version of you? Okay. So let's recap. The link is down below. Go jump in, get your ticket to my 3-day live event, and then be ready because applications are opening tomorrow for my mastermind. Be one of the first to apply. If you have questions, come over to my Instagram at it's Tay Daniels _LLC. It'll be listed below. Come ask me any of your questions. And then remember, if you want to change your life in the next year, if you want to operate out a new identity and you want to make more money, and if you even want to make 6 figures, This work is required. If you're like, I just want to make a six-figure year, not a six-figure month, not a six-figure launch, this is still required. Operating out of this identity and having the business and the structure and the planning and the execution to match it is what is required. And I'm going to teach you how in my 3-day live, and then I'm going to do it with you in my mastermind. And I will see you there. You better apply. I'll see you inside.